All right, we finished up the modification to the dust port, so now I'd like to move on to the separator. Both my vacuum and my dust separator live above my table saw, but I brought them down here so it'd be easier to film. As you can see, I made this one from a Rubbermaid storage bin. It's kind of cool the way it layers the sawdust in here. But anyways, I didn't do it for the cool factor. I did it so that I could see how full it is so I'll know when to empty it. If we take a look inside, you can see I've got two chambers. This one is coming from the saw into here, and then I have a divider with a small hole here. And this side goes to the vacuum. Some of it does flow through. I haven't changed this in probably, I don't know, 6 months, so it's long overdue. Normally there isn't this much on this side. These are just some PVC pipe fittings that I got from Home Depot. You definitely want to include a pre-separator or particle separator into your system because it'll improve both the efficiency and the maintenance cost. I built this one about 3 years ago and I'm thinking of retiring it in favor of a new design, which I'm going to show you now. Here's all the materials that I'm going to use for the build. We've got a lid, got a bucket, Home Depot bucket, but this is the clear one. It costs like $1 more, I think, but it's worth it because you'll be able to see the level of dust in there. And then I've just got some PVC pipe fittings that I think will work. What I did was I took a little piece of my dust collection hose to the store so I could see kind of what would work. All these supplies were about $15. They do have screw top lids available that cost a lot more, but they're pretty convenient when you're opening and closing it. I just went with this one because it was cheap and I'm cheap, so there you go. I've got just a straight pipe and a 90-degree elbow, and then this one is just a straight pipe that I'm gonna epoxy. We're gonna have this guy located here, and this one's gonna be over on the edge here, and it's gonna be facing the wall of the bucket, so that as dust and chips enter, they're gonna come around and fall down to the bottom of the bucket. The fit here is not great. I wish I had a hole saw that was a little bit smaller, but found this window insulation and I'm gonna glue everything in place. Vacuum comes in here, and you've got, this would go to your miter saw or whatever you're trying to collect dust from. I just used a couple of hose clamps to tighten it on these fittings. Right here I've got my super scientific box of sawdust. I'm going to go ahead and vacuum this up and see how much of it we trap. Looks good to me. As you saw, I struggled a little bit to get this lid off. So, you know, if you want to go ahead and invest a couple more dollars and get the screw top lid, that's probably something worth doing. This whole setup here cost me $15 with tax. You can purchase dust separators online. I think the Dust Right is like $100. If you use a shop vac, recently I saw there's one by a company called Dust Stopper, and theirs is only $50, so that's about half the cost. So that might be something worthwhile for you if you have the money and you don't want to go through all this. But yeah, as you can see, pretty effective. I mean, probably 99% of the sawdust was trapped in the bucket. Overall, for 15 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong with this upgrade. This concludes part 2 on dust collection. The final video in this series will cover the zero clearance fence, which is really great for working on small parts. So you don't want to miss that one. Thanks for watching, guys. That concludes the dust collection section. Dust collection section. Dust collection section. Stupid.